If you don't want to hear no, it may be because you're closed down, you're too emotionally attached. Hey everyone, I'm happy to be back with you today. I'm Shannon Lee, the Director of Coaching at Win Without Pitching. And I want to talk today about the word no and the power of no and why it's important to say no, why it can be hard to say no, and then some ideas for you around how to make it a little easier. So, when I think about saying no, I really think about your ability to have some confidence in that moment and just push back if it's not the right thing. And the ability to say no sometimes is hard because if you're a creative person, for example, you see possibilities, you see around corners, you see opportunities for ways to make things better. And it's really hard to say no when you see that there might be this brighter future. When you're a salesperson, it can be hard to say no because you're competitive and you want to close that piece of work. So you're going to do what you can to make it happen. And no just isn't in the mix, right? The other thing that happens sometimes is you just frankly need to bring work in the door. And it's hard to say no when you got to meet payroll. Also, if you're having some positioning challenges, it can be really hard to say no because you're simply not clear about who you're best suited to help, right? So you just sort of say yes to everything because you don't have a clear area of focus or specialization. So the other thing to consider is the ability to not only say no, but to hear no. It's important to be able to hear no as well, because that allows you, frankly, to open up your mind a little bit to what might be going on in that sales conversation or in that moment, right? If you don't want to hear no, it may be because you're closed down, you're too emotionally attached, and you're afraid to hear no because you're afraid to lose. Or you may not want to hear no. But you should because maybe the person you're talking to has the authority to say no, but they don't have the authority to say yes. And so you're going to hear a lot more no's over the course of a sales call with somebody who has that authority, right? They're not the decision maker who can say yes. So you should be open to hearing no in those situations to learn more about what's going on and who really has the authority to say yes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you can say no in ways that might be more comfortable. The first one is just in an introduction, right? If you're introducing yourself to somebody via email, you just use this lovely little professional out at the end of the email. If you don't see a fit or the timing isn't right, feel free to say no. You're giving somebody the professional out if they don't want to talk with you. And it helps sometimes to just get them out of that mode of silence or saying yes for the sake of saying yes because they're afraid to say no. The other idea is this thinking around 3 stars and a wish. So you're coming at it from a frame of positivity, right? So it's so great that you reached out to us today. There's your first star. Thank you so much for thinking of us. Our team might get really excited about this opportunity. There's your 2 and 3 stars. But the wish is, I really wish that you would have reached out ahead of actually writing an RFP for this project because we just don't typically respond to RFPs. So you're setting things up with a little bit of positivity before you deliver that no. The other idea is to come at it from a place of, you may ask me to do this, Mr. or Miss Client, but allow me to put another idea in front of you, right? If somebody comes to you with this idea that they think or this problem that they think they have or that they need, but you see it differently, there's your opportunity. Thanks, I hear you. There might be some worthiness in that idea that you think would help solve this challenge, but if it's okay, let me push back and let me come at it from another context for you because I think you might be looking at the problem incorrectly. So, the idea here is to say no, to feel empowered to say no, to get in touch with what makes it hard for you to say no and think about that a little bit. And then bring some of these tactics around giving somebody the professional out or this idea of 3 stars and a wish or I'm not able to do that, but I could do this, right? Like think of other ways to say no. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know how it goes, report in, and ask any other questions you have that you'd like some guidance around. We're here to help on this YouTube channel, and it's a lot of fun to have time with you in this format. So thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers. Go to it. Say no.